Hey guys, kind of a lone gunman here, videoing myself. A little bit of an update. We have the lift back together with the Marlow Rope installed. Just wanted to go over real quick what we did. One of the things that was definitely clear from everything we read and we were told is you can't knot the rope. It basically weakens it. So we went through with, researched everything they recommended as far as how to make connections, and then we went back to our connection points on the lift and evaluated those to make sure that they were burr free and wouldn't cause any sharp edges or anything like that. This rope is it's very tough stuff. However, sharp edges you can cut through it, and ideally we want this to last a good long time. So one of the terminations that we had to make, and I'll try and show this to you guys, but what we have here is what they call a Marlow loop. And you can see it's continuous. It's actually weaved right into back into the rope, and it's incredibly strong. This end actually terminates on the lift side and hooks to the pawl lever. We had to make this neat little needle for actually getting that done. And the way it actually works is you open up the loop. You open up the weave, it's kind of hollow in the center, so you kind of push it together, and then you push the needle through it and make an opening, and you weave it back through. So you can see here we've done that. You can see it just basically goes back through here. Now what you do is you leave a long tail here, and you open this up further, and you put that tail down in the center of the weave. And then what you do is you open this up on the end once you get it weaved through there, and when you pull it back, it locks it solid. And that's what you see on this end. Now on the pulley end, it's a little bit different because here's one of our pulleys, basically, and here's the entrance point right here for the rope, or what we did have is the cable. Now these might be hard to see, but their appearance is a little bit different. These have been tumbled, and what that is it kind of goes into a glorified rock polisher, and any sharp edges that we can't detect or can't see, it basically just takes them off. And it was really worried about these where the screws actually come through on one side of the pulley, and then of course this entrance point. So what we did was, I was worried about that edge, and we just pushed this edge through without the loop in it, and then we created the loop and we pulled it back on top of itself like this. So it wasn't a knot per se, it was actually pressure back on the rope again. So that's how we actually terminated it inside here. So now everybody's kind of curious. It's all hooked up. How do we do that on the other end? Well, we did this. The pawl lever itself, if you look at it, this right here is where the cable would go through, and it's a pretty sharp edge, and that's definitely a concern, and we could machine that and do some work on it, make it real smooth, but it'd be very time consuming. So what we decided to do was make another connection, and what it is we used a number 35 link, and these are a bearing surface, so they're very, very smooth, and we hooked the loop on there like this, and then put the other half of the link and the spring keeper on. So again, this is a very smooth surface, you know, minimum wear point as far as that goes. It has the ability to pivot like this, so it's a pretty slick deal. It also makes for a very quick disconnect, which is something we haven't had before as far as service goes. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. It's kind of cool. You can take things apart and not necessarily have to cut the cable, which is what we'd have to do in the past. So that's what we have on the pawl lever. Now the big question is, what does it sound like? How does it ride? So on and so forth. Well, I've got it about as quiet around here as I potentially can. You might hear Brand snoring in the corner, but listen up. All right, so I'm not sure what's going to be detectable as far as audio in the video. I'm going to upload this here in the next few minutes. You guys can take a look at it. But the only thing that's really detectable is you can hear the motor run, and when the V-rollers actually cross the intersections of where the splices are at, you can hear a little bump. Other than that, there's nothing from the rope, nothing what's detectable whatsoever. So the question we really got to answer now is, you know, what kind of lifetime can we get out of the rope? We went through everything very, very thoroughly and looked at anything that would potentially cause it to abrade, and we don't really see anything. I think there is one thing we're going to do. I think we're going to get a little paraffin wax, and we're going to go up and down the rope with that, just to the fact that it's kind of a slick surface anyway. And all this will do is, I would assume, just reduce the wear. I can't see where it would, you know, jeopardize the integrity of the material or anything like that. It would just make it so it's more resistant to anything it would actually interface with. And right now, the only thing that it actually interfaces with is itself, as it rolls over itself and it actually winds up and down. So, pretty excited about this. Actually, looks like it works pretty well. Looks like it's pretty strong. So let us know your thoughts, but we're at a point now where we want to let her rip, Tater Chip, so let us know. Thanks.